start by definition of what a system is. A system is the relationship of a set of principles or procedures according to which something is done within a framework, mechanism, or an interconnecting network. So with this frame, what is a design system? A design system is a systematic approach to product design and development, offering user interface libraries, design guidelines, design principles, style guides, and coded components. All of these which work together to produce a central source of truth to assist better user experiences in our digital user interfaces. The current state of affairs without a design system, excessive rework. So both in coding and design, the whole idea of do not repeat yourself, lots of repetition in both domains. This produces kind of a culture of design and build on demand. So no shared practices or processes for design and development. This reduces a lack of visual consistency, of course. Teams siloed, working on their own initiatives without any shared documentation impacts negatively on the customer's experience of our digital products. No standard of growth. So scalability is a challenge without the documentation standards. So to overcome these challenges, thousands of companies are investing in design systems. A design system offers a library of visual UI kits, coded components, and shared practices, which are documented and released as code and design tools to serve the purpose of consistency and speed in digital product design and build. Solutions that we propose, we base these on our objectives and key results for the year. The objective is to create consistent digital experiences at speed. 4 OKRs have been identified. The first one is the development of the UI kits for our designers. Second is the development of the master visual specs, which is a representation of the UI kits, but annotated specifically for developers. Third is to reduce the interface design time, and we'll show some benchmarks that are already showing positive results in that respect. The fourth one is to increase design system usage. So that's its adoption across teams and products. We start with a UI visual audit to see where the bay is actually today and what inconsistencies there are. And we abstract the design language in color and in type. You see here, this is the start of the design language abstraction, understanding what that is. We produce the team shared libraries from these. Here you see those colors have been merged into what we call a token library, and the icons being released in a foundation icon library. This is a screenshot of our design software in Figma. So these libraries are now available to our designers to pull from. Then we're exploring this design as code. So it's actually making our design decisions, this design language, more useful, tangible for our engineers. So here you see from a flow from 1 to 4, it's the design file on the left, number 1, and the actual the coded representation of that in JSON at number 3, and number 4 is a style dictionary where we can translate it to any tech. So you see here in this diagram, the Figma textiles, as I showed you in the last slide on the left, is exported to JSON, translated in style dictionary to many different formats for different frameworks that the engineering team might use. Areas of opportunity. We definitely see a integrated strategy of integration between product design, design systems, and engineering. Product design team design the parts, we combine them and distribute them, and the engineering team code them. Also, the headless e-commerce idea is really exciting as well, that we get to separate that visual layer from the back-end business layer, and we get to craft that, which is a really exciting opportunity. Benchmarks, as I mentioned, we had our design team build out this form in design tool without the system, and then with the system. So without the system, it took 41 minutes on average to create this form. But with the system, they created this in under 8 minutes. That's a 400% efficiency gain in UI build time. Again, we approached this with a more simple task to create this review star. In this case, without the design system, the time was 3 minutes. However, with a design system, it was half a minute. So that's an efficiency of over 6.5 times faster. For our roadmap, we want to look at where we are today on the scale of the maturity model. We are right at a nascent stage now in our design system maturity, where we're focusing on the plan and establishing the system itself. The idea is to get to a scaled or optimized system. Here's a roadmap for this year. We already have the first release at March, where we released the icons and colors. This is the projected plan for April, May, and the rest of the year. You see in each release, we release more components. The design documentation and the coded library is yet to be understood and worked upon. We'll have a better idea of the coded library when we have an engineer on board. What you can see here is the first 6 months and then the rest of the year, where we move towards that first major release of 1.0.0. We're in a beta release up until then, where we release and we get feedback and we improve, kind of a progressive enhancement. Also in the frame of the scope of our work, I wanted to express to you as well that we have this pillar that I use to help me understand and maintain the system as we move forward. So we have our build phase. Our maintenance phase is very important, where we look at the performance, the progression, the participation of designers in that design system as we move forward, and of course the partnerships around the system and the promotion of it. Next steps for us really is to get a front-end developer. That's a front-end engineer for design systems will really help us build out. Well, it's not even help us, it's essential. Essential to have the understanding of that component coded library